out all bums. Don't bring that weak shit in here.
4, 3, 2, kick it.
Yo, Chico.
Expose these clowns!
Untitled! Boom, punch out! It's time for the Freddy Chico show to begin! Open up your ears and listen close. I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Building in strong, watching clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'm gonna give them most of my wordplay. Freddy Chico show. I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Building in strong, watching clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'm gonna give them most of my wordplay. Freddy Chico show. I speak for the truth of my people, I will never quit. No fear in my heart, they keep talking while I'm living this. Kneel for the spirit of the fallen, calling Japanese. Them soldiers always raising up our Fifth Street analysts. They lost in the zone of a fatal state. True facts in the story only carry weight. Keep the grind on your mind each and every day. But don't copy off of mine, eat what's on your plate. Respect the Huey P. and Bobby Seale. Malcolm X and the King, cause the dream is real. What I said, and I mean it all. If you're looking for the real Freddy Chico show, I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Building in strong, watching clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'ma give them most of my wordplay. Freddy Chico show. I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Building in strong, watching clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'ma give them most of my wordplay. Freddy Chico show.
Welcome to the Freddy Chico Show, where the truth is revealed and never concealed. I'm your host, Freddy Chico, and we're going to get this timer started. You know what time it is, rep your city time. Let everybody know where you're checking in from. I may know you personally, but they may not know you. Family may not know you. So let them know. Represent your area of the country, and sometimes even the world, because you know we're international. We had Colombia in the house on Monday, so you never know who's going to check in and where they're checking in from. We had Medellin, Colombia in the building. Y'all didn't know the Freddy Chico Show was international. I know my boy FHO was in the building. He's the first one in the building. Appreciate you. He said A.T. Garrett Shea was in the building on Instagram, and I'm waiting on my YouTube folks to come in. Do me a favor, hit that like and share. Costs you nothing to click on it, but it supports the channel, supports the movement, supports what I am doing here. Appreciate you in advance. Shay is here. What's going on? Instagram in the house. We definitely going to talk the talk today. We are going to talk the talk today. Walter is in the building. Appreciate you. Got a hot one for you. I hope y'all are ready. 'Cause, I don't come half-stepping. At no point. I might as well not do this thing if I'm going to half-step at anything I do. So, I just want to say it goes without saying, I'm coming 100 with any topic, whether it's a topic I came up with or a topic y'all come up with. It don't matter. So I know we got 3 people in Facebook. I seen one person say something or 2 people say something. I know it was at least 4 at one point. Y'all are just in the background. Let me know who you are, so I can give you a shout out. Yeah, I'm not going to come with any mess. Come with nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth. Do me a favor, hit that like, invite, share. I know you got the crew. Hopefully they'll come through on that. Country rooming in the house. I see you over there, Rebecca. Bruce was good. Appreciate you. We got to talk about it tonight. I hope you're ready. Because, you know, I hope you're humble enough if there's some things you need to change that you've been brainwashed into learning is the way to go, that you are open to new things. Because remember, you're never too old to learn. You're never too old to learn. You can always learn something new from anyone, you know, and you're never too young to teach. And like I said, that it's not just everybody else. I'm not picking on Rebecca, no. But I can learn as well. I learn every day, you know. Okay, the time is up. Let's go ahead and get into this topic. The topic tonight is happy wife, happy life is a parasitic mentality. Happy wife, happy life is a parasitic mentality. It should be eliminated, retired, murdered, whatever it needs so people stop saying it. It should never be said. It should never be spoken, let alone applied to anyone in any relationship, marriage, or what have you. What's going on, D-Rod? Appreciate you in the building. You know, tonight we're talking about happy wife, happy life is a parasitic mentality. You know, before we go into the whole reason for the statement, you say, why is that so? I'm glad you asked that. But before we answer that question of why is that so, what is a parasite? A parasite is an organism that feeds off another organism. They provide little to no benefit to the other organism, the host. Happy wife, happy life is a parasite. It's creating a parasite of a wife. Like the wife is a basic parasite because the husband, whole mission in life is to ensure that she's happy. Because as long as she's happy, his life is happy. He does not matter. His happiness does not matter. It's just her happiness. The key to his happiness is to make sure she's happy. And that is dysfunctional as ever. And it has roots in 1800 mentality when women needed to be taken care of because they could not provide for themselves. They could not earn a living. Yeah, they're scary. They're scary. You know, we had one that came in, was it Monday? No, it was last Wednesday. Came in on some, what he's going to teach his sons to do, you know, because he wants them to cater to the women. And I'm like, that's your children. You do what you want with your children. But it's wrong. But it was at the end of the show, so I couldn't really dive into it. So, you know, we're going to have to do a part 2, and hopefully it comes through. But there's a lot of sugar-coated men, fake men, unreal men that claim or want to put on the facade that they're an actual man. They're full of it. Okay. So apparently, I answered your question, right? So this is your response. You're saying, well, I disagree because women have balance and men need that. Elaborate on that. You say women have balance. What do you mean they have balance? And are you saying that men don't have balance? Because I'm going to pick some holes in that. The problem with that is those same men try to roll up in church and teach the youth that. I get into that with them all the time. Yeah, I'm right there with you. For years. Marriage is a partnership. That should be equal. Absolutely. You know, and FHO said it before he left. It should be happy spouse, happy house. His happiness is just as important as her happiness. Bottom line. You know. But, he said values. I'm interested in what that means as well. Yeah. Because I don't want to assume what you're saying, what you mean when you say women have balance. It implies that men don't have balance, and you know, I can go so many different directions with that, like how some people are like, women don't need men, but men need women. That ain't it. Okay, so your question is, but how are women responsible for men feeling incompetent? I'm not sure how that relates to what we're talking about. Women are not responsible for how a man feels, but they are responsible for their contribution to the relationship. It's not take, give every now and then, take. They should give as good as they take, or they shouldn't be involved. And don't tell me this, well, you know, they're trying to get better in life, or they're still trying to make their way in life, then you can't afford to be in a relationship. Just like they say to the guys, if you can't afford a certain type of living, you shouldn't be in a relationship, neither should the women. You know what I'm saying? They say we're identified by our gender and what our roles are in marriage. However, women was treated as chattel, and their function was to produce children and raise them, cook, clean, and please her husband. Exactly. But they forget that part. And so, as much as I say that is not a requirement no more, well, I mean, the producing children, there's nothing they can do about that. But the raising them, the cooking, the cleaning, and all that other stuff, that's optional at this point. That's not a requirement. If you say that to women nowadays, you know, you're going to get put in that Facebook jail. You know what I'm saying? So, understand, this is not 1852 no more. And they're dysfunctional. He said a lot of relationships are emotionally uneven, and that's dysfunctional. You know, he said, well, the statement is about feelings. Men should cater to women. We do so much for them emotionally and don't see it. Stop that. No. That's not what this thing says. Happy life, happy wife. If the women are catering, as you're saying, so much to them emotionally, there would be something saying happy husband, happy life. But there isn't. Because they could care less. Or the mentality is that it's not important. So let's be truthful. Let's talk facts. If that was the overall mentality, there wouldn't be happy wife, happy life. This is just is evidence of what people are thinking by saying this retarded happy wife, happy life. If it was such a given that all these women are just so dedicated to these men, and these men are just taking them for granted, happy life, happy wife, happy life wouldn't exist. But it's the opposite. There's more of a mentality that we got to take care of the women at all costs. Don't care if you breathe your last breath. But we could care less about you as a man. I.e., Father's Day versus Mother's Day. I'm just saying, show me where it's different. You know what I mean? He said women are considered inferior to men, but as we all know, women are very intelligent if they have a chance to find their voices. Absolutely. Women are not inferior mentally. Women are not inferior emotionally. That's brainwashing. that we have been taught over the years. The only thing that I would say women are inferior to men is in strength. But not that is, I don't want to say I'm envious or anything like that. Men are inferior to women in bearing a child. We don't even compete. We can't compete. We don't have the tools for that. The main saying of churchmen who believe in that is that it starts with us men. But I'm like, what about the middle and the end? And it's supposed to start with us, then how is it a partnership? Because they're cornballs. I mean, and those are two type of men that say that crap. One, they're so guilty of these horrible things they've done to women, they're trying to make up for it by being over the top the other way. Two, they're con men, and they're hoping some woman heard them so they can get that interest in them because they said them clown stuff, the Derek Jacksons of the world. You know what I'm saying? And they're looking for likes. He said, if the women are happy, the men are happy. Men are the ones that screw up, though. See, and that's why you have a problem with me saying, that's why you probably believe in a happy wife, happy life, that I should be more concerned about my wife's happiness than my own. And she should be more concerned about her happiness than mine. That is dysfunctional. Especially that little slant you got there talking about the men's are the ones that screw up. You sound bitter. Women really don't do much to mess up relationships, honestly. Another incorrect statement. Women have recently started treating men like they treat us. Another incorrect statement. The submissive woman pays for the sins of the past in a man's life. Actually, that's the reverse. Thanks to Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey. You have corny men saying, I apologize for what some other man did to this woman. I'm not apologizing for what some other dude did to you. That's your fault. That's his fault. Go talk to him for that apology. I'm not apologizing for that. So, agree to disagree on that one. You said if a woman stood up to her husband, she was beat down so much that her only concern was the well-being of her children and herself. Yeah, because, I mean, that was that mentality. You know, the same people that are like, oh, chivalry and gentleman was supposed to be a compliment to a woman. It was not. It was to do just that, to beat her down mentally, emotionally. You're not good enough to speak. You're just to be looked at. But they want to try to carry that part over and forget that other part and be like, yeah, it's still catered to us, and actually call it a good thing. Hence, you know, where's the gentleman at? Where's the chivalry at? It's dysfunctional. Okay, your question is, what about these men with mommy issues? Can you be more specific? I think I know where you're going with that, but I don't want to assume. But I do have an answer if it's what you think, if it's what I think you're talking about. Oh, church women get on my nerves with all that women hold men down crap. Yeah, that holding you down is bull crap. You're not actually doing anything. That's like when a commercial, you know, advertising for a product says, this may help you do this. That means it does absolutely nothing. May gives them an out that you don't really have to own up to whatever they're saying they're going to do. This may help you win the lottery, but you're not going to win the lottery. And they can't be sued when you don't win the lottery. You said not every woman holds a man down. To be honest, when I go into a different church, I often see tyrannical wives who people are afraid to check. Oh yes, when I have dealt with people who their wives talk to them all kind of crazy, and they turn and think they're going to talk to me that way, the look I give them, and they're just like almost about to pass out because how dare I, you know, not jump when they say jump, and like, let me see, You a bad one to make me do what I don't want to do. Man, woman, or child. You know? These men don't care about women. We are where we at now because of our own ingenuity. Ingenuity. They want you to be all these submissive things and get mad when they get tied. Okay. No, but explain to me the men with mommy issues. You want to ask me about men with mommy issues. What's that all about? You said, let's consider that a woman is taught to let a man think that they're superior. That is another false statement. I've heard women say that crap. Oh, I let him think he's in charge. You know, that's dysfunctional. It's like, either you're in charge or you're not. Don't play this paper stuff, you're in charge until I don't like what you say. Then I have a problem. You're in a dysfunctional relationship. Period. You know, he said basically a woman can manipulate a man to think he's a leader. I know it's not right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's dysfunctional as all get out. Because I know I have women out here that are like, look, I feel I'm a better leader than my husband, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then take the lead. Take the lead. But at the same time, when you screw up, don't turn around and say, well, that man should have never let me take the lead. No. Take all the bumps and bruises too. Because nobody's perfect. You know, men make mistakes too. And it's okay if they learn from them. But a lot of women like to make decisions, but then blame it on a man when it don't work out, when it's their fault. Well, you shouldn't have let me do that. It's your fault. No. He said a man should lead from behind. Only if he's looking at her behind. That's only, and the behind has to be nice looking. It can't be something, you know, lumpy and all that. He said mommy issues, they want a woman to lead and I want a woman to lead. And I don't see. That's the type of man I don't mess well with. You know, I'm a mama's boy, but I'm like my dad. So, I can't relate to that. He said, and giving her the role and act victim in public when in fact they don't know how to lead because they have always been controlled by his mom. Those are weak men, and more than likely got with a tyrant of a wife. Because there's plenty of tyrant wives out there. You know, because when people make statements, when men make this statement, my wife won't let me do this, like, stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. I'm not talking to a man. I'm talking to a clown. My wife won't let me ride a motorcycle because she says it's dangerous. Matter of fact, when I had my accident on my motorcycle, I was 90% done with motorcycling. I was 90% done because I was hurt pretty bad, you know, and the recovery was painful. But I had no less than 5 women, nurses and nurse assistants, imagine that, nurses freaking assistants, come up to my wife while I'm going through the process going, you're not going to let him get on another bike. Like I'm not sitting there like I'm some child and she got more authority in my relationship and in my life. I said, you know what? After the 5th person said something, as soon as I can walk, I'm getting a bike. And look them dead in the eye like, say something else. Because you think you bad. I mean, just a random woman come walk up to my wife and say some retarded crap like that. Like you run anything. I'm a king, I'm alpha male all the way. And not just in spirit and words. I can show you better than I can tell you. I could barely walk when I bought my new bike. And I'm sitting here transparent. You know, I did have some hesitation because I had to take off the long neck brace that I had just to get on the bike. But I got a little extra motivation from my wife who was like, you better get on that darn bike. Let's go. I ain't playing. And I'm like, heck yeah, I need a little boost there. That's why she's my rib. But got on that bike, because some women think they really got some cojones to run their mouth to me. You know what I'm saying? So you wouldn't give your wife your whole paycheck and let her pay the bills and take care of the house? I'm not understanding that question. All right, slightly mixed chick is on the road. When a man says his wife won't let him, he says that because he respects his wife. Yeah, that's a nice way to look at it, but that's bullcrap. Men are childish, period. No. The men you mess with are childish. You need to find some different men. You know, and that's a nice way to disregard or invalidate men, period. You know, but want themselves to be validated, but won't give that same validation to the men that they're seeking this validation from. That's dysfunctional. He said, I see some have to unlearn a lot of false tradition. Absolutely. No one's happiness should be outshot with the other person's. That is not a partnership. I agree. Because there is no man to show them the way to be a real person. That is a key point right there, Rebecca. There are so many men that I run across that have not had an example. So it shows. And I'm like, you really do not need to be leading men when you operate the way you do. Now, I'm not saying it's a requirement, but it helps a lot to be under the tutelage of a real man before you go teaching somebody else how to be a man. I mean, that's my opinion. Because there's too many girly men in the church. Too many girly men. Matter of fact, I am going to be transparent and say at least 75% of the men I know in the church are girly men. Their wives own them. They are, I actually told them this in one church that I went and visited. They are, what is the term I use? Castrated. There are castrated men in the church. And they were like, what do you mean castrated? So I was like, you know what? I know you're trying to play dumb. Let me explain it out to you. Your balls are chopped off and they're in your wife's purse. Go to your wife's purse right now and I bet you I see your balls in there. Your testicles are not attached to you. They're in her purse. And anybody, because of course we're still on COVID-19 things, so we got streaming live and we're not in person. But anybody wants to go, well, if you even have to ask a question, I'm talking about you. Real men don't have to ask that question. They know. But these ones are like, I wonder if he was referring to me. Yes, I am. I'm referring to you and your no testicles having self. And yes, I'm a deacon. And I said it. There's plenty of deacons that have no testicles. Y'all know who they are. And they're teaching other people to be no testicle having men. But Mind Games Uncut, what's going on, sir? Appreciate you in the building. Do me a favor, hit that like and share. Invite somebody who may believe this crappy, happy wife, happy life mentality. But that is a stereotype, though, because not all, or even most men beat women like that. Beat women? Did I say something about beating? There are plenty of men standing up for women. Malcolm X, King, we're not the only ones for that much of a rarity. Okay, we do play the blame game a lot. We do. Instead of owning up, you know what I mean? It don't take that much. But, nah. You in a dysfunctional relationship. But let me go to the other comments before I go to that one. He said, I think a man should surrender his paycheck to his wife. For what? For what? I mean, I can see one case where that would be, the word is emasculated. Masculated, castrated, both of them. But a guy gave me that idea. Love it. He's a clown. He's a freaking clown. And, well, I'll take that back. The only way he's not a clown is if he's just bad financially. You know what I'm saying? But to give your check to your wife just for GP and I want to give a specific situation so y'all understand what I'm talking about. If you're a stay-at-home wife doing absolutely nothing, you don't get nothing. Matter of fact, you won't be staying at home for long. You're going to be out on the block and unmarried. You know what I'm saying? That, oh, I'm going out there, you know. Like I said, the only way I can see that happening is if the guy is just, you know, got holes in his pocket and his money just, you know, falls out. He needs someone to kind of keep him in check about his spending. His spending habits are bad. Don't take care of the bills, this, that, and other. I can see that. And the wife is like an accountant or something. I can see them doing that. But not on just some old regular stuff because he's too incompetent, you know, or he's a man. Is men just supposed to do that? That's bull caca. They say they don't respect. They don't say that because they respect the wife. They say that because they fear divorce. That too. I don't fear that. I don't fear man, woman, or child. So, yes, when that lady was like, you going to make sure he don't get on his bike, she told him, I can't make him do this or not do this. He's a grown man. Right? But they looking all strange like, how dare he have his own opinion, you know. You lost your freaking mind. Well, the government has kicked the black father out of the house. They can't kick me out of mine. Can't. I know they listening, but they can't. But let me get to this last comment you said, talking about if his testiculars are in your purse, you're doing your job. No, he's a punk. He's a eunuch. He's a punk. And we are not the same. We are not the same. And they say, y'all do fear women, you don't know how to live without us. Stop playing yourself. Stop playing yourself. You know, again, you got to stop messing with these weak men, talking about men that fear women because we can't live without you. You know how many of y'all that are out there? Woo, buddy. I can show you better than I can tell you. You know what I mean? How many women do dumb stuff for the littlest things? Like, there's groupies. Those are women. Those are dudes doing crazy things for athletes. Ain't dudes doing that crap. You know, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if dudes is chasing after WNBA players like the women chase after the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they already complained that WNBA ain't making as much money as them, so they don't have enough money to probably afford the groupies. But still, dudes ain't doing that stuff these women are doing. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. That was the part of downplaying the black man role in the family. True. So deacons and pastors. But what is that? But what is that? Is the husband's want? She needs to be compensated. Okay, but what is that? Is the husband wants? What is it that the husband wants? She needs to be compensated. I think that's what you're saying. Have them. I don't date for a bill. You know what I'm saying? My wife is not a bill. She's an asset. She has a nice asset. But no, or has nice assets. But no, we provide for children. I don't provide for my wife. My wife don't provide for me. I know there's cornballs that have their wives or girlfriends taking care of them and they're sitting there playing PlayStation, NBA 2K or whatever. Yeah, I know they exist. And again, most men can't cook. Who taught the women? Men cooking before women. We just relegated them to that because we thought that was a demeaning thing to do in the 1800s. But they had to learn from us. You see the biggest cooks? Those are men, not women. I mean, there are women cooks that are, you go down. My mom can cook her behind off, you know. But guess who she learned from? My uncle. My uncle taught her how to cook. And he can throw down, you know. But, oh, Lord. That's just foolishness. Nobody know what other person needs until you communicate that. There's nothing, no inside secret or what have you. You know, as you're in tune with that person, you're gonna know what that person is. That's just stereotypical brainwashing. He said a lot of husbands will allow the wife to show her strength and not be afraid of her successes. Absolutely, that's a smart person. Because at the end of the day, if she, I don't even understand the mentality, the statement saying, I'm afraid of my wife's success. Are you crazy? I celebrate my wife's success. You know? And I want to say until recently, she was making more money, and I have no problem with that. I'm still the king, but hey, make more money. And it wasn't, let me try to sabotage. I'm giving her advice, giving her this and that to get to the next level. Because at the end of the day, it's team us. And we're going to win. We putting into that same pot. Not, she's giving up all her money to me and I'm giving up all my money to her. No. We're a team. We're not this dysfunctional Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know, love and hip-hop crap. Nah. Never that. And that's real. That's not fake. Not what these people, you know, people say stuff, you know, because it gets attention, but they know they're not living it. I'm living this. I can show you. He said if it's about money. Okay, hold on. I might have missed something. Remember those preachers we seen on social media who try to kill a man's hobby and happiness list? Like the pastor we seen who said the woman should get a man who doesn't play video games, that is bondage. Yeah, they're clowns. You know, first of all, they're video game haters, and you shouldn't even have a conversation with those clowns. There's nothing wrong with playing video games, and I'm not saying that only because I like video games, but where that is actually applicable is when the ones that all they want to do is play video games, you know, morning, noon, and night. Like, at some point, you got to put it down. Like, that don't make sense. That's not what I'm talking about. Just like the women, but it's no different than the women that want to watch soap operas all day long because somebody else is paying her bills and paying her car notes and all that good stuff. That's just as dysfunctional. He said, any man who allow a woman to run him in his house is weak. Hey, there's a female saying this. I'm going to say it again. Any man who allows a woman to run him and his house is weak. Most women are looking for a strong man to help them take some of the stress off their shoulders. I halfway agree with that. I'm not here to take no stress off no wife's shoulders. I'm here to, you know, to be a teammate, but a lot of these women look for a rescue for problems they created. No, you need to solve your own freaking problems. That's the problem with half the females. They don't want to be an adult. They want somebody else to treat them like a child, and it's not their responsibility for the crap they got themselves into. Have 3 or 4 different baby daddies, but want the next dude to take care of all of that they created. No. Now, I agree to a certain extent, they both should have the equal desire to make life less stress on each other. Absolutely. But they need to go 100 for each other. It's not, I'm concerned about my wife's stress, but she ain't concerned about my stress. Yeah, that's dysfunctional. Nah, I don't agree with that. He said women need to understand, hold on, I think you said something here. So you can't get mad when another woman steps in and takes over. Steps in and take over what? Ain't no woman can take over what I do. You or no other woman is equipped to do what I can do. It's not even a I want to say not even a threat. It's not even a concern. There's no woman on this planet that can do what I can do. Promise you that. And that's not being arrogant. You know? I can't do what my wife can do, and she cannot do what I can do. Nor any other woman. I don't care what kind of attachments you buy and all that good stuff. You can't compare with me. Not on a bad day. You know what I mean? He said women need to understand this. A lot of cheating comes from happy wife, happy life mentality because they're either targeted by a womanizer who doesn't care about doing for her because he is cheating, or will get that yes man who can only uphold the lifestyle but so long, then when he gets tired of the lifestyle, he'll get tired of her. No argument there. We have too many men who have not shown the example of what manhood should be at. I agree right there, big time. Again, I see too many times I go to, and they hate to see me coming. I go to so many men's, not fellowships, but like men's ministries and things like that, who are led by women, or women like men, women, feminine men. They don't have any masculinity about them. Literally, I went to this one church. We were visiting, and I was like, "Hey, you know, what's going on with the men's ministry?" And I'm talking to the guy. The guy turns and looks to the wife. The wife answers me and says, "We don't have one, but yeah," and looks back at the husband and says, "You should start one." But the way she said it was like, "I'm allowing you to start one." I said, "Never mind. I don't need to ask no more questions. I already know what time it is here. This is some dysfunction. And your balls are in her purse." Okay. So, but why y'all tell your homeboy the problem instead of your woman? Tell him what problem? Because my best friend is my wife. So, no homeboy is going to know anything about what's going on with my wife. So, elaborate a little bit on, you're talking about the dysfunctional Tyler Perry stuff, where they're not in communication with their woman, but they're going out and having man's night out or men's night out or whatever, and clowning their wife to their boys. Yeah, well, that's the problem from the gate. That's a red flag from the gate. I've been married over 11 years. Y'all not gonna know about the problems. All y'all gonna know about is our celebrations. Y'all will never know about the problems. You know what I'm saying? My parents won't know about the problems. Neither one of us are perfect. We have our good days, bad days, and all in between. But, I mean, just this conversation disqualifies people from even having a voice in my relationship. But I'm going to go vent to my boys? Nah. That don't make sense. And just in general, even when it's a relationship with my friends, my male friends, it's like, if I got a problem with Walter's going to hear about it. I'm not going to talk to Tony. I'm not going to talk to FHO. I'm not going to talk to Mind Games Uncut. I'm coming to Walter. I don't do this, man, you remember what this dude did? Man, and then be smiling all up in his face the next time I see him. No, I'm coming straight to the source. I got an issue with you. I'm going to talk to you. They know. Too many are blocking guys like Chico for our young men to properly learn. I know too many women who say they want a real man and want someone to train the young men, but will block people. Absolutely. And that's why it's like that dude was talking about he's going to train his boys to do all this super extra stuff for women, but what are we training our daughters? Absolutely nothing. They don't have to do nothing but receive benefits for being a woman. Nah. Good luck with that. Dang, it's already 8:45. But I appreciate you being able to hang out. Because I know, and Walter will tell you, there's lesser women that have flaked at this point. And you've been able to take some good shots tonight. But you have some unlearning to do. But I promise you, when you unlearn these things, life is going to be awesome. Don't take my word for it. Apply it. And watch what happens. When you start unlearning these dysfunctional things where people really think the woman is supposed to get catered to for everything and they don't have to do nothing in return but just exist, promise you, you will see that. Because the biggest thing that I hate when I see people talk about, when women talk about, I can't find a good man or good men don't exist, actually they're all over the place. But they identify you quickly and run the other way. All these women that say they can't find a good man is because they're not a good woman. I know I stepped on some toes right there. But the dysfunction that you could be any kind of woman and you deserve a good man? No, ma'am. He said, your issue is men that take women for granted. I understand some of your points, but y'all can't stand a breadwinner. You're still talking about a particular type of man, and I get that. And we talked about that before. There's reasons why those particular men don't want a breadwinner. One, they're ignorant as I don't know what. It's the dumbest thing ever. Why would you not want someone increasing the household income exponentially? You are retarded. Said man that thinks this. Retarded. Period. I don't cut my tongue on that. And I know him. And I said, I'll agree to disagree. But if you want to ask my opinion, you are retarded. So, for King, retarded. So, and I didn't curse. I said sofa and king. So, you know what I mean? He said, now that's not true. The reason good women can't find a good man is because some of y'all are stuck on yourself. You don't act right until you broke, sick, or hungry. Actually, it's very true. Now, there's some that are like that, stuck on themselves and arrogant, and I know them as well. So I'm not saying they don't exist, but there's more women who don't think they have to be a good woman, and they think they deserve a good man. Blue Jasmine is one. Look her up. If you don't know who she is not a good woman, but she thinks she deserves a good man. She's a clown. I don't even know what she's famous for, but she's supposedly a celebrity, reality TV or some dumb crap, But, yeah, she a clown, and she's not that cute either. She light-skinned, but, yeah, she average. I mean, not that it should even matter. It's like, I don't care how cute you are. I'm not paying for nothing. I'm not a John, and you're not a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? So that is why proper non-biased counseling is important for those who haven't learned yet how to operate in marriage. Absolutely. Because most marriage counselors are biased and lean towards the woman the majority of the time. He said, not every day of marriage will be bed of roses. Absolutely. That's what I was talking about earlier. You'll have some thorns as the rose bush grows. Just learn to enjoy the product of the marriage. Yeah. And when you have those thorns, reflect on the great times, and not throw years away because you're in your feelings for a moment. Now the good times should outweigh the bad times, but there will be bad times. That's a fact. Or you're lying to yourself. Look, Tina Turner talking about what's love got to do with it. Marriage is a business contract at this point. It can be, but the whole alimony should be removed. No woman should get alimony. I don't care if he makes billions, like the Jeff Bezos situation. He shouldn't have to pay all that money to her. Don't care if he cheated or not. alimony is garbage, you know. But that was an antiquated thing for when women couldn't earn a living. That's been passed. But we still have it where if you make more money, you owe money to her. That's why some of these clown, you know, Mary J. Blige and Carrie Underwood, they got to pay crazy money. I didn't know how Carrie Underwood was that rich. But Carrie Underwood got to pay like $300,000, $200,000 a month to her ex in alimony. And Dre, I think what did they say? I think they got to pay him $300,000 a month until she gets remarried. So if she never gets remarried, she can get $300,000 every month. Every month, she's making like $3 million a year, and don't have to lift a finger. She ain't no victim. Mary J. Blige is a victim. How is she a victim? And let me hear that one. Mary J. Blige is a victim. He says some can't find a good man who fulfills the definition of a good man. That's the problem. Some don't want someone objectively challenging. Yes, I know plenty of women that at the same time will say, I don't want no man I can run over, but literally that's what they want. But they'll complain about him not being a stand-up guy. But you like the person that you clowning all the time. You know, I've had people in public dog out their man like it's some comical stuff. Again, that's dysfunctioning. Alimony, again, paying a woman that can work. So that all these men who are paying these alimonies to these women that can work are victims to you? Because we have this dysfunctional mentality that is expected for a man to work, but it's optional for the woman to work. And that's dysfunctional. If you're an adult, you should work until you are making some type of residual income where you can hang it up and just do whatever. That's dysfunctional. And you need to unlearn that. Because that's scripture. I can show the scripture to you. It doesn't say any man like some terrible preachers would preach. It's anyone that doesn't work should not eat. Not any man. See, go look it up again. And I challenge you. No, it doesn't say a man. It says anyone. Anyone who doesn't work doesn't eat. Look it up. I'll wait. I know the word. I don't speak out of the side of my neck. You know. Said that's the old thinking that a man is the sole provider, but with today's economy it takes both. I don't care about today's economy. I'm talking about concepts and principalities. When you're a child, you do childish things. But when you become an adult, you put away childish things. Man or woman. Don't care about the economy. Don't get to be an adult and then you turn into a child because you got married or you with a man. That's backwards. Now, they could blame it back in the day because they wouldn't allow women to work because they didn't think women were capable because they thought so lowly of women. But when World War I hit and they were having a man shortage, they had to go to women and realize, oh, shoot, these women can take care of business. You know, I mean, I guarantee they knew already, but it was like, now we have to admit it. So, yeah, they can't put that back in the box no more. They tried to after they came back from the war and the men want their jobs back. Like, nah, women enjoyed being able to earn their own money. Look it up. The suffragettes and there was two different women groups movements. It was like, nah, we're not going back to being in the house. We enjoy having jobs, and we can handle it. Y'all screwed up. Now, let's go. But let me know when you find it. I know the word. He said people want to be what they're not. Just be yourself. I agree. Happy wife doesn't train wives to get through bad times. Or happy life doesn't train wives to get through bad times. Yeah, I can see that because in a way, like I said, I always say that with the reason why women should get up off their behinds and stop being lazy is that I have seen the results of a woman who was in her 70s and never did anything for herself. Her husband died. Now she's lost. Because I guess apparently didn't have the children weren't there to help or assist or what have you. But she never took care of anything, and that's real easy to do. Because even in my relationship, and being transparent with this, there's certain things that my wife takes care of, and there's certain things that I take care of. Like I'm being transparent. Utilities and all that's on her. I don't take care of that bill. So if I had to all of a sudden start looking at that, I'm like, oh shoot, where do I log in? What's the login to pay this and what's that, blah blah. Because she takes care of that. So it's very easy to get in a mode where like, hey, she don't never have to worry about the car. She don't never have to worry about the insurance. I take care of that. The mortgage, I take care of that. But if she ever had to, she'd have to go through some hoops. Figure out, okay, well, I got to contact this person. I got to talk to that person. Switch it up, get the automatic payments, rolling from this account or whatever. But it's easy to get caught up in that and that's with sharing the load. But with these women who don't do nothing and then their guy is gone, now what? Another option. Where's like Diary of a Mad Black Woman. He just decides I don't want to do it no more. Kick rocks. And she ain't worked a day in her life because she be enjoying his labor. What can she do about it? But move into it with her manly mom, Medea. You know what I'm saying? That's not smart. That's some clown stuff. She's still looking up the word, I guess. But so remember the woman on the show with the Kevin on stage who said a man should upkeep a woman's lifestyle after divorce. She's a clown. And Kevin on stage is a clown for supporting that dumb crap. But I do believe he believes that mentality, But I want to say his wife is a professional. So I believe she doesn't stay at home, I don't think. But he could be at the same mentality. Even though she's a professional, she don't have to contribute to the household income. Her income is just her free spending money, and he takes care of everything. I'm not going to tell another man what to do in his household. I just think that's very dysfunctional. My opinion is that's very dysfunctional. Very dysfunctional. Your wife is a child. A woman child. And a bill. A liability. You go down, the whole family go down. That's some clown stuff. He said the woman-man relationship should be readjusted to reflect without gender definition. I agree. I mean, because there's a lot of things I'm still unlearning about that. Because, you get taught how to do this, and it gets repeated over and over again. You don't stop and think like, okay, wait a minute, why am I doing this? Because some dummy said it a long time ago, and nobody's challenged it. So I'm right there with y'all. I have to unlearn some things that we have been taught that is dysfunctional. Like I said, other than breastfeeding and delivering a child and carrying a child for 9 months, everything else, and I would say protection. Now, to a certain degree, women can protect men to a certain degree. They can throw hands, they can do things like that to a certain degree. But ultimately, it's on that man for protection. That's it. Not providing, protecting. And I appreciate you can agree to disagree. But that's what the word is. You know what I'm saying? Oh, are you saying you agree to disagree on the word? I don't want you to think I'm making this up. It's 2 Thessalonians 3, verse 10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. King James Version. The one that everyone's like, you got to do that version and no other version, that version. 2 Thessalonians 3, verse 10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. King James Version. I don't play. NIV. For even when we were with you, we gave you this rule. The one who is unwilling to work shall not eat. Not man, the one who is unwilling to work shall not eat. 2 Thessalonians 3, verse 10. If it's not in your Bible, you took it out. New Living Translation. Even while we were with you, we gave you this command. Those unwilling to work will not get to eat. I'm just saying, I'm not making this stuff up. I promise you. Appreciate you, Walter. But we have people that will distort it to kiss women's behinds and get them in the church thinking that that's actually accurate. Any man don't work, he don't eat. That's a man hater. That's not the word, and the truth is not in him. You tell them I said it. Those pastors that say that crap are full of crap, and they're going to answer for that because they're lying to a lot of people, and lazy women are eating up like hotcakes. Oh, I got to mess with this man because he don't work. Now, I can be lazy and not work, but he can't. He has to work for him to eat. Once a woman found out that she had just as much choice in her life, a man was put on the back seat and she learned to live and found her voice. I agree and disagree with that statement. I agree they have every right to have a voice. But I don't agree they need to put the man on the back seat. Now I can understand the feeling like, hey, we've been traumatized for so long, I want some get back. So I'm not gonna deny the feeling for get back. But if there's a specific situation like somebody was mentally beat down for 20 years, and it's not good to go tick for tack, but I will understand, me personally would understand if that lady wants to put that man through 20 years to even it out. But I don't agree with that woman taking 20 years out on another man who ain't do nothing to her. I don't agree with that. So let me know if you were able to write that down, the verse. Housewives get mad at me because I tell them that if they are not working, then they could be getting an education, do a side business or something. Yeah, I mean, if they having a deal like Tabitha Brown and her husband, she was a housewife while she was pursuing her career in entertainment. The husband held her. That's what the real holding somebody down is by paying bills and things. That's holding it down. Not sitting at home watching TV, burning electricity, running the light bill up. That's not holding it down. You're full of crap. But once she got on, she was able to retire him so he can pursue his dreams of mentoring kids and being around childhood education. So, reason why they're mad at you, Walter, is because you're exposing their laziness and they don't want to do anything. So how dare you say they should do something and contribute and be a contributing factor in their household? They should lay down and open their legs every now and then, and that's all they need to do. Absolutely. You know, hold on. Let me make sure I'm answering this question right. He said, so messy question. Each being is responsible for each other. Is that the question? Okay. So the messy question is, so why should a woman have to consult a man for an abortion? Great question. I like that. That's not a messy question. Let you tell it it's her body. It's not her body. It's their body. Just like at the situation where a guy's like, look, I'm not ready to be a father. And the woman responds back, well, you shouldn't have laid down with me and had sex, so we have this possibility of having this baby. If you did not want him to be a part of a decision about an abortion, you should have never laid down with that man. When you lay down, that's why I don't believe in people talking about we had an unplanned pregnancy. Oh, you planned it. You didn't accidentally slip up and y'all had sex. It was a decision y'all made. Conscious decision. Unless you were raped. You know what I'm saying? It's a decision y'all both made. So, you both make the decision. Whether it's he wants it, you don't want it, you want it, he doesn't want it. It should be equal. One should not weigh the other. You know what I mean? Because like a comedian best said it, it's like if there's a situation where it's your body and he can't decide whether you have the abortion or not, if he doesn't want the child, if you have the child and he doesn't want it, he shouldn't have to pay for it. Because it's his money. You know what I'm saying? If it's your body and you want to make a decision, you pay for it. Because at the same token, and I know somebody, a good friend of mine, he got a girl pregnant. He wanted a child. She didn't. He relented or allowed her to have an abortion because he said it was her body, her choice. He has never been able to have a child to this day. He has not had any children of his own. She should not have that right to do that. She laid down with him. She should have respected his wishes, like so many want the man to respect her wishes, and had that child. JR, what's going on, sir? What's going on? Long time no chat. Absolutely, JR. Exposing laziness, manipulation, all that good stuff. I'm sure you do wish we could have had babies. I don't envy y'all and that. Labor, all that good stuff. Hey, power to the women, black girl magic, all that good stuff. Have that. If it was up to us, we'd die out as a species. We ain't having them. He said a lot of women feel that she was taught or trained a man should do it all. Yep, and that's the bottom line problem with that old mentality. And that's why we die quicker than y'all, because we're doing all the work while y'all watching us sipping tea. But it works out against her if she never learned how to maintain the lifestyle that she wants, not what someone else has provided. Bingo, right there. Please, maybe I need to read that one again. But it works out against her if she never learns how to maintain the lifestyle that she wants, not what someone else has provided. Awesome statement. There are not too many things in the word that is agree to disagree. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Koine, Greek, and Hebrew are too specific for that. I mean, I'm not going to tell somebody who's not able to agree to disagree. They can do what they want to, but what they can't do is tell me what the word says. They can't change words out, like you thought it said man, but it doesn't. And there are many times in the Bible where it speaks about man, but it's actually saying or describing mankind, so it addressed both man and woman. But sometimes people like to, with their agendas, make it seem like it's only talking about man and woman. It doesn't apply to. It's cornballish. Appreciate you, JR. Great topic. So society needs to stop acting like the black male has a tradition of being toxic when so many were raised by awesome fathers. Absolutely. I have an awesome father, and I'll tell everybody, I have an awesome father, and he taught me well. And I live every day to give him honor, and show him, and show the world what I was taught. You know what I'm saying? You talking about me or JR? I am ordained. You didn't know? I should start guest speaking at churches. Woo! I don't think they're ready for it. They are not ready for it. But I am an ordained deacon. So I don't come slipping. I don't come half-stepping. And I don't play games. I'm not perfect. I learn. Like I said, I still learn stuff. I don't know every word in the Bible from front to back. But I know a good portion. He says, so that means he should support her 100% if she doesn't want the baby. If she does, and she does. I think you're saying, so that means he should support her 100% even if she doesn't want the baby, and he does. He should be able to keep the baby, and she should pay him child support or something like that. But he should be able to keep the baby. Not just, because that's the other thing. People think the mother should automatically get the child, and that's bullcrap. Other than for breastfeeding, everything else is even. You know what I'm saying? We can't breastfeed. We don't have the equipment for that. But I'm not speaking my opinion. I read it to you in 3 different versions. 3 different versions I read. That's not my opinion. So that's where I agree with Walter. It's like, I'm not agreeing to disagree with what I read in the Word. Because you don't like it, then you can't agree to disagree to that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you think it applies this way versus I think it applies this way, that we can agree to disagree all day long. But not on some, I don't like what it says, so I agree to disagree. Nah. So why can't the man be as responsible for birth control as the woman? They are. They should be. They are just as responsible for birth control as a woman. I don't agree with that. Well, she got to she got to take the pill, or she got to do this, and it's nothing on him. No, they're equally responsible for birth control. I agree with you on that. You're great. Pray you and yours are great. Yes, sir. Mankind knows the truth. Discernment, we choose to ignore it and do what we want. Men, women, it don't matter. Absolutely. People skip marriage and can't even get to happy spouse, happy house. Yeah, that right there. I hope I didn't lose her. Oh shoot, it's 9:14. We might have to do a part 2 to this, because I went way over on this. But I appreciate y'all. JR, please do like and share and all that good stuff. And hopefully, we could do a repeat of this and you'll come through. If you are a member of the FreddyChicoShow.com, you can come on live and maybe we could do a co-hosting the next time we come over this topic. Appreciate you, Amshay, on this on Instagram. I know you had to bounce, but I appreciate the back and forth. Hopefully it didn't scare you away, and hope your feelings aren't hurt and nothing like that. You got your big girl panties on. You said most men put the responsibility on women for birth control, which I think is wrong. Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. That's cornballish. That's them feminine men. All those weak men, non-real men. That's garbage. Both are responsible. It's not her responsibility, and he's just, free to do what the heck he want to do because he's under her, leadership. That's clown stuff. So I agree with that 100%. Do me a favor, invite somebody next time. We are on this Friday. I have not come up with a concept yet for the topic. I do believe it's going to be on law enforcement, motorcycles, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that, but I'll stay tuned and I'll keep y'all posted. More than likely, I'll let y'all know by tomorrow, if not early Friday morning. Remember what I say, you don't have to think like me, but you do have to think. You are responsible for how you think. No one else. I'm not responsible for you. You're not responsible for me. Society needs to stop acting like the black male has oh yeah, you already said that. You want to make sure I got all your comments in. Remember, you're never too old to learn. You're never too young to teach. We can all learn something. Like, I'm hoping you learned something tonight, Amshay. Read your word. It's in there. If it ain't, you took it out. But love y'all. Nothing y'all can do about it. I'll see y'all Friday. Chico out.